Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my compilation of all 24 days of my custom LEGO Hawkeye Advent Calendar. And I gotta say, this is probably maybe the one that I'm the most proud of because we had consistent uploads every day. It was a little late at night sometimes, but I never missed a day, never had to combine any days. And we actually told the story of the show. So if you haven't seen the show yet, spoilers for that. We're going to go in order of all the episodes. And I'm really happy with all the builds, all the figures. And I just think it's a really realistic thing if LEGO actually did this. Because Hawkeye hasn't gotten any LEGO love, which is one of the reasons I chose to do this versus like just a generic Marvel one. It doesn't have any sets, not included in the minifigure series. And I thought, what better way, because it is a Christmas-based TV show, than to do this advent calendar. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the box and its design. You've got Rockefeller Center there, as well as like some ice for you to put all your figures on and all your different builds from each day. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go in order. So day number 1, we had the Chitauri craft, and I think that this was just a cute little thing. I do go overboard in terms of the prints because I want to keep things interesting. LEGO would never have a micro figure there for the Chitauri, but it's just fun to draw that, and I really like the build for the craft, which is what one of the LEGO sets actually call the flying vehicles. But next up, we do have a minifigure, and that is Kate Bishop, and she's here using the Barbara Gordon hair in black, a elf bow, the fancier bow in reddish brown, as well as a quiver in black. And she does come with a little orb piece as her accessory, meant to represent a tennis ball, and she does have some printing there new for the face and the torso. Next up, though, we've also got, from the exact same scene, the clock tower. And this is a micro build for the clock tower that she is trying to shoot the bell in the center. And I tried to come up with like a bell build, but it just wouldn't make sense. Like, we've got the clock tower there and you can't really fit a bell inside. So I'm really happy with the uses for all the parts there. Moving on now, we've got another micro build, and this is actually of Grand Central Station, which at the time I didn't really realize there was going to be more significance because there's that plaque towards the end of the season with all their names, because that's where they did like their little spin around the rotation. So Grand Central here, it's got a giant wreath, and I'm just happy with the build for this. I think it was fun to actually do. Next up here for day number 5, we've got the poster for the Rogers the Musical, and I'm so happy with that. It was so fun to actually come up with a Lego-wise design because the show itself is a knockoff of Hamilton, set in the MCU, having this historical figure getting a musical, and it was just fun to actually include that there. I chose dark red because it was around the time of Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think, or I was just in that mindset, so I was like, firehouse, dark red masonry bricks, and then you've also got a little bit of snow there on the top of like that wall and the floor, and also just the poster was inspired by Leaky Cauldron sign in the Harry Potter series. Next up here from day number 6, we have the funniest build, I'd say, and this is the urinal, which I was not expecting to ever build. I never thought I would build one, never thought I would draw one on the channel, but here it is. And you've got a little tile on the top there saying Thanos was right. And I originally thought it was going to be a lot more impactful, that statement, but then he goes around drinking from a mug later on, which says that, and he had no problem with that, so a little bothered by that. But anyways, day number 7, what advent calendar is complete without a platter of food? So you've got this table here with all the Chinese food from the Barton family meal in New York, and you've got some of the new chopstick pieces there, as well as a spoon and some soy sauce bottles and a teapot there in the center in silver. Moving on now to day number 8, we've got another minifigure, and it is the Tracksuit Mafia guy, and it is kind of meant to represent Tomas, but also not. It's just kind of just a generic Tracksuit Mafia guy, so you can just kind of customize and make it whoever you want it to be. But I knew that I had to include them, and you've got a baseball bat as the accessory, as well as you've got the slicked back hair there in the medium nougat. Next up from day number 9, we actually have a build from the Barton's hotel room, which was of Kate dressed as in the Ronin costume on TV. So I actually took some inspiration from the LEGO Avengers TV panel, the news panel from 2020, and then you've also got a remote on the little wardrobe unit there, as well as I think that was meant to represent a Christmas tree. Day number 10, we're in Kate Bishop's apartment here, and they're both archers. I had to include a target somewhere in this series. It's in the logo. It's in the background. So you've got this 3x3 flat tile there with the target printing there on a sand blue masonry wall, as well as a bucket there that actually has, or a barrel that has a couple of different arrows. Next up for day number 11, we've got Lucky the Pizza Dog, and it's using the piece introduced from City last year in 2021 at the start, as well as you've got, I'm already in 2022, we've got a little box there of pizza, which was actually the same design that I remastered and redid from my Young Justice series, which was an accessory for Kid Flash, so it's kind of in the Ashnverse, as I like to call it. You've also got a pizza slice there, as well as a 2x2 tile there meant to represent the top of the box. And just for fun, you could just kind of sit it on the dog's head. You've got a Santa hat because there's not really a Santa representation here in the Advent Calendar. Day number 12, we saw the space rocket little ride there inside of the toy store that Kate is actually tied to, which of course led into day number 13, which was the unicorn ride that Clint was tied to. And I almost tried to attach them, but it was better that they were separate builds for 2 separate days. Day number 14, we had the introduction to Echo. But before we actually saw her, we saw all of the different speakers in that room. So you've got a bunch of different builds here meant to represent the speakers from her room. And then you've also got, of course, the next day, in day number 15, Echo, Maya Lopez herself, which she's got the ponytail hairpiece there in black. She comes with a goon gun there in black as well. New face print, new torso printing, and some side arm printing, which probably is, again, unrealistic, but doing the best here. Next up, day number 16, we've got a small build inspired by the style that LEGO City does for their builds, and that is meant to be the car that Hawkeye steals, and of course is in that iconic car chase that we first saw from the trailers and all that, the trick arrows, all that fun stuff. And then moving on to the next day, day number 17, we had the Trust a Bro truck there included as well. Same similar design to the car, but of course meant to represent a different vehicle. Day number 18, we had the large Pym particle arrow, which this build is actually completely from Noah R., who is linked down below in the description. He came up with that when I was struggling with trying to come up with the arrow build, and he built that mecha, and I traced it, and yeah, thanks to my friend for doing that. Next up, day number 19, of course, Advent Calendar, you gotta have a Christmas tree. And what was great about this was that in the show, it was actually a white Christmas tree, which is something I've never gotten to draw before, and is, from my memory, isn't something that is come in a LEGO Advent Calendar. So awesome to be able to do that, have it in different colors. You've got different lights there with the different colored transparent studs. And then at the top, you're also using one of the new bricks introduced in 2022, which is a 1x1 tile stacked on top with a hole in it, which allows you to put the star there, which is like the same build that a bunch of other Christmas trees have used. Next up, day number 20, we actually have Yelena. And she's here. She's actually got the ponytail hairpiece there in dark tan, and the face is actually Sylvie's from the Marvel minifigure series. I just thought that it worked perfectly for her. I've seen a lot of people use that for purists, as well as the legs is actually Black Widow. She's got a new printing there on the torso, but the mask there is actually Screenslavers from The Incredibles. And when I was watching the show, I immediately knew it doesn't necessarily work with like the mouth part, but I knew when I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, that looks like Screenslaver's piece. I wanted to use that, recolor that, reprint that. So really awesome that I was able to do that. And day number 21, we have, and this is a thing that I've never really seen LEGO do before, but it's actually like a large version, a large build of just regular day objects. We've got some food here, but it's the mac and cheese with the hot sauce bottle. So we've got a big bowl there, as well as you've got the actual macaroni 2 pieces, which was just, I think, works great. And then you've got the hot sauce built there. Day number 22, we actually have 2 Christmas presents, and inside the presents was, of course, the new outfits for Clint and Kate, and it's a little bit taller than the actual presents that were in the show. They're a lot slimmer, but I wanted to be able to actually have like the ribbon on top and have it be wrapped, these boxes, so I had to make them a little bit taller, and they're stacked on top there. So really happy with how that turned out, which leads into the next day, day number 23, which is Clint Barton himself. Everyone was asking, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's here. And this is him in his final outfit. I need this in Lego minifigure form, please. He's actually using the same face that Lego's been using for him, because I think it works perfectly. The young Han Solo face, the spiky hair in reddish brown. He also comes with a quiver in black and a compact bow in black as well. Some dual molded arms and some new torso printing. Lastly, day number 24, acting as our Santa in quotations, because of his size and color choice of outfit, we've got Kingpin, Wilson Fisk himself. And I really love this figure, and being able to draw this. I need to just have a Hawaiian pattern on hand to have ready for any figure, but love the significance of this outfit from the Family Ties Amazing Spider-Man comic, what that relates to in the show, and of course even just being able to draw him again is always great. Returning to draw him because I drew him years and years ago for a Marvel TV series that I was commissioned to do. The hat there, the fedora piece, has a red band on the white hat. Of course, you could remove that to make him bald. Of course, he's got the cane build, which is using a lightsaber hilt with a blade at the bottom in black, as well as a diamond crystal jewel at the top in clear. He's got some torso printing that carries on down into the leg printing. But there you have it, everyone. That is all 24 of the Hawkeye Advent Calendar days. If you haven't heard, there's actually a giveaway that's going to be ending on January the 1st, where I'm giving away the Daily Bugle, and inside each of the days until the phrase was complete, I actually hid a secret code, which you could check out the video for, linked at the end, as well as the playlist if you want to go on the scavenger hunt yourself to find all the different arrows that had different letters spelling out this message that you can enter in to win a Daily Bugle. So that here linked all at the end. But as well, you got to do a search if you want. I've done Advent calendars now for the last 2 years, so you could check those out as well. We did Spider-Man and Batman, as well as Ninjago, and now this is our 4th one. So crazy. I said to myself that I'd never do one again a few years. I think it was after the first year, and we're here. Finish another one. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you all have a great day. Of course, Merry Christmas, everybody. I will see you all in the next one.